This is William Dymock-Johnson with my revised Forgotten Realms pantheon. The minor gods, the gods that represent impulses or aspects or portfolios, but gods who haven't created a species per se. They generally come into two camps. They either belong to Abathar and his court, the god of the dwarves, or of Mag-Oubliette, the god of the goblins. First up we have Auril the Frost Maiden, Abathar's enforcer. Because who do you want as your enforcer but the entirety of winter, of cold, of ice, of storms? She's also the god of the secret police, those people who come for you in the night. Next up we have Azuf, god of wizards, god of learning magic, of scholarly pursuits, but also, since he is Abathar's advisor, his right-hand man, his informer, he is the god of those things as well. If you are in the court, you may wish to pray to Azuf, so that you may give good advice to your liege. But he is not, in this version, a servant of Mystra. We'll get to Mystra later. Next up we have Bane, the Lord of All, which is a very presumptuous title for such a relatively young deity. This is a god of war, conquest, and tyranny, all those good things that Bane's been on about since the 80s. But he's been hard at work at some secret project in this world, and is nearing completion, and possibly the PCs will find out what's going on. Bane is the patron of warlords or petty kings, because he is not aligned to either Abathar or Mag-Oubliette. But where you find people who would want to rise up and forge their own kingdom, you find temples to Bane. Next up, we have Beshaba, the Lady of Misfortune, and she is rather fickle and capricious. She is the goddess of misfortune, calamity, but also revenge. Fury has nothing on a woman scorned. That sort of thing. So if you've been wronged, seek her out. And Beshaba patronizes both courts. One could say graces, or possibly bedevils. She has been the mistress to many of the subsequent gods to their misfortune. And her servants are the succubi, those beautiful, wonderful, and terrible beings. Next up we have Baal, first god to be in the court of Mag-Oubliette. He is the god of blood, death, and murder. He is revered by assassins and executioners. Baal is the god you go to when you want someone dead. He is also the overlord, the grand high boss of all assassin cults. So you will find his temples everywhere. Not out in the open, but they're there. And he has shadow cultists, and they are revered and feared by everyone who wants a handy murder. Next up we have Cyric, also a god of Mag-Oubliette, the god of lies. He is Mag-Oubliette's advisor, enemy of Azuf. He is a god of cunning, he's a god of trickery, intrigue, and deception. It is said there are no temples or organized priesthood of this god, since every lie is a holy prayer unto him. Then we have Gond, another servant of Abathar's, the god of craftsmen. He is a god of industry, smithing, mining, and hard work. Everyone who works with great skill should honor this deity. His temples are common, his shrines grace many workplaces. To earn his favour, sacrifice something great and wonderful that you have made. Next up, we have Amata, actually a good god, the broken god, the god of mercy, endurance, and ending of suffering. But also, because this is an evil set, called the foolish god. Amata is looked down upon by most of the other deities, as worship is scorned by right-thinking peoples. So who wants a god who crawls in the ruin of the wreck? Well, that's not a god you should worship. But Amata cults are remarkably tenacious. They crop up wherever there is suffering and oppression. And with Abathar and Mag-Oubliette at the head of the pantheons, there is a lot of suffering and oppression. Amata is a lot more common than you think. Next we have Lovatar, the goddess of pain, misery, and also hope. Because the hope she gives is the hope that she'll end your suffering soon. She is Abathar's torturer. She is tasked with punishing those who stray from the faith, who wish to pull down society, hunting down those nasty cultists of Ilmater and Torm. We'll get to Torm. That's Lavatar, the torturer. Then we have Malar, god of the wild hunt. He's actually a servant of Corellian. He's a nasty, vicious bugger as well. Wild hunt is a great elven frenzy of riding out to hunt down, pursue, and run down anyone they may find. Not a nice god, not a funny god. These are not your nice, happy elves. So Malar is the other elven god. Then we have Mask, another unaligned god, the god of thieves. Like your brother Baal, Mask is the capo of any thieves guild, any thieves gang, any organisation or brotherhood of thieves, smugglers, what have you. Everyone in those organisations has her as head boss. She also doesn't have many official temples, but she makes sure that she gets her rightful 10%. Then we have Merkel, god of death, god of the undead. It is said that all worship Merkel in the end. Die and you'll find yourself in his cold halls. If you're not claimed by another god, then Merkel will take you and use it to build his great wall of the faithless, where your eternal screams will please Merkel. Merkel is also the lord of the undead. All undead are seen to be his servants, and act to hasten your journey to his halls. Next, we get Mistra. She's evil. She is the goddess of wild magic, unconstrained magic. She is the goddess of sorcerers. And in this world she advises and helps Magoubliette, for she is also an enemy of Azuf. She hates those who would pin down magic, put it in a book, stick it like a butterfly, and so it is ordered and comes out the same again and again. So she is not the goddess of wizards, but of sorcerers. If you really want to earn her favour, sacrifice a wizard to her. Then we have Severus, god of predictions, of foreknowledge, of seers. He is also Magoubliette's court. Whenever hobgoblin has need of knowledge, of seeking it out, of consulting in horoscopes, he goes to a priest of Severus. And he is the servant of Mistra, not Azuf, Severus. And then we have Sune, the goddess of love and beauty, in Abathar's court. She is also goddess of the moon, and she is revered by all who wish to be well regarded and loved for their magnificence. And she cares little for anyone's personal adoration. She just wishes to be worshipped by all. She is also the patron of poets, of inspiration, of artists. Torm is besotted by Sune. That is often to his downfall. And then we have Talos, favoured by some others in the RPG Brigade. A storm god. God of storms, of battle, of unbridled chaos. And in Abathar's court, he is his war god. Talos has temples, keeping the weather, and also to battles. And they are everywhere. He is particularly revered at ports. One should always make a sacrifice to Talos before setting sail across the waves, lest he claim your ship as his own. Then we have Tempest. Talos is crazier and more wilder brother. He is god is very on good terms with Groomsh. Many orcs also pay homage to him. Tempest is fought with all the gods on all sides. He doesn't care who wins, dwarf or hobgoblin, Abathar or Magoubliette. He is in it for the fight. So he'll be on one side and then the other. He doesn't care. He's in it for the battles. Both Tempest and Talos often compete for Bashaba's favours. And so, a servant of Bashaba, Succubi, will not kill a follower of Tempest or Talos, though they might enslave them. Then we come to the last good god, Torm, the good god, also known as the idiot's god. Because, well, all the other gods are evil, set up, organised, favoured. Torm gets those wild, mad idealists who seem to think that the current existing status quo isn't any good, that something better should be done. He's an idealist, a righteous and just crusader, but he's also oppressed. He is scorned, his worship is outlawed. He is a martyr's ally, because those are the only two good gods in the world. And both gods will desire a change in the organisation, but this is an impossible task. It's made especially possible because Torm is besotted by Sune, and Sune likes things as they are, so Sune can often fool Torm into doing something foolish which ruins his current plans. Yes, in this universe, the good gods are the Saturday morning villains whose plans always fail. Lastly, we have Umberlee, the goddess of the depths, goddess of all the monsters under the waves, goddess of krakens, of Sahuagin, of aboleths, and other horrors. You better pay some tribute to her, or else something will crawl out, come across the coast, and eat you. And those are the minor gods. I'd like to point out, this is not a nice and happy set of gods. They exhibit every madness and vice, and this was intentional. Because, all too often in fantasy, it's very hard to see why anyone would be bad. Good is too powerful. Being good is demonstrably rewarded and obviously the better choice. Here the powers of good are rare. They are outlawed or they are enslaved, as in the case of Yondala, the only other good goddess, but who cares about halflings? And they have been put over by the dominant evil powers. And those dark powers reward those who enforce the status quo. Being good in this world is a challenge, but I've never said a hero's life was easy. And those are the minor gods. If they have any energy, I might do a god on the races.